Hey, it's Bree with Coffee and Repeat, and I know I usually do hydration and running reviews, but I'm going to do it a little differently this time. We're going to talk about the Little Tikes Real Wood Adventures playset. We've had this for 2 months. We got it in July. We had a lot of issues with installing it. We were working with Little Tikes extensively and getting all the pieces that we needed replaced. We had a lot of damaged pieces that came from different sets. A lot of the instructions in the built app weren't matching up to the instructions actually in the directions. We had many issues, and since then we've had it for 2 months, and I want to show you kind of how it's wearing after only 2 months. And we live in Virginia, so we don't really live in a super high sunshine state like Florida. I have gotten in contact with them, and they did send a couple replacement parts, but I just kind of want to touch base on some of the biggest problems we've had with this playset. First of all, this is the swing that it came with, and you can see how badly it is cracking and it's discolored. This is sort of what it looked like on the other side. I got my little windscreen, so I'm holding my microphone to my phone. We're trying new toys. I don't know how well this is going to work, but you can see how cracked and discolored and damaged it is. In only 2 months. We actually have a replacement for this. I just need to switch it out. And then another issue we had was that these kept coming unscrewed by themselves. We had to actually add additional hardware to keep them from falling, unscrewing themselves. Another issue that we had, and we got the replacement parts, to be fair, is that a lot of our parts, when we got them out of the box, were splintering a little bit, and now you can see that they are splintering a lot, and this is on the rock climbing wall. I do have replacement pieces for this, so I have to take it all apart and put those handhelds back in and re-screw it together. And then, to be fair, they did give us replacement parts on that, and then we had some problems with the handles fading out pretty quick, and I've got some replacement parts for that. So I have a lot of things that I have to replace, but some of these problems that I'm going to show you are things that we have just discovered, and it feels like every day something else happens with this thing, and I definitely do not recommend this playset, guys. Okay, so first of all, in terms of the hardware, this is happening on several spots where the provided screws that they gave us are now rusting and discoloring the wood. So we're gonna take a little walk up here. So some of them aren't that bad, and then some of them are really bad. So hold on, we're trying not to fall out of this tree house because I am okay. So like that, where it is almost rusting and it is discoloring the wood, and on top of that, this wood is not holding onto the screws yet. So I'm gonna have to go through and retighten a lot of the screws already because they're starting to pop up. And I know you're supposed to tighten it a couple times a year, but it started happening pretty quickly. And we've also had parts where they just are chipping right off. We also have the color, let me see if I can focus that a little bit better. The stain is already wearing off, and the canopies, we really noticed the difference in color. You can kind of see that right there. Yeah, it's a different color starting to bleach out. It's supposed to be a bright orange, and this exterior side, there's quite a lot of color difference. So let me try to get this microphone tucked away so you can kind of just see how badly things have bleached. There you go. That bright orange color, that is what they look like when we installed it. And now it's completely faded out. And the same thing happened up here on the top canopy. It completely faded out to a different color. And then we're getting these spots, probably from, my guess is rust. My kids don't really leave anything up here. But it looks like this set was installed 10 years ago. It is not a well-made set. So if you are considering the Little Tikes Real Wood Adventures, I would say don't. We spent countless hours building this. We had to get pieces. We were on the phone back and forth and email with the product specialist because we had so many issues with installation. and then just 2 months later it looks like it's 10 years old, and it's kind of a really appalling low quality kind of product. And they did take care of us when we had issues with the installation, and we got a product, like a credit towards the Little Tikes store, is like an apology. And so we had gotten like, I think, $150 credit, which was really nice. But in terms of wear and tear, I was told that the swing part was fine. It's just normal weathering, and that the red color does fade out. But I think in terms of something that was built to be an outdoor product, for it to only last less than 2 months before we started noticing problems is really a testament to the quality of wood that they didn't use, and the quality of the plastics that they didn't use, and the fact that we're going to have to go through and change out some of these screws, because the screws are like, I mean, they're rusting. We can't have that with the kids playing in it. Some other issues, like there's gapping. We did everything to the letter with installation, but things didn't line up properly. We actually had to sand down some sections because there was edges that didn't line up, and some of that we were willing to kind of deal with because of wood. But you can see here, like, everything is starting to crack and fall apart, and it's just really depressing, because this was not cheap. This was, I want to say we paid well over $1,000 for it, and for something that cost $1,000, it should not be wearing quite this quickly. So let me know if you have any questions. Leave comments below. I know it's different than my usual hydration pack review, but if I can keep someone from making the same pandemic purchase mistake that we did, I would hope that this helps.